Okay, good evening, traders. Let's go ahead and do a audio and visual check. Can you guys see and hear me okay? Audio is going to be the question for tonight. I've struggled with audio in the past, having guests on tonight. You can see I have Andre with us,
Let's
and it
go.
sounds like he might have the keys to the house account.
Ooh, don't tell anybody. It's supposed to be a secret, Dakota. No, I'm kidding. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Let's do this.
All right, it's a little choppy. It might be just a little bit choppy, but it looks like we're getting a lot of yeses. Broken, funky. I think that's going to be good. I think we're in a good spot right now. I'm happy with the audio. I can hear you. You can hear me,
Yep.
and I think everybody can hear us.
Good to go.
So, how's everybody tonight? Let's go ahead and get started. As always, welcome to Slow Markets, everybody. I'm Coach Dakota, Coach DBA, and as always, I'm going to go ahead and post our Top Step risk disclosure here in the YouTube chat. As you can see, we're going to be analyzing the live markets. We have the live markets behind me. You can see the Nikkei. This is Andre's charts. And anything we say is for educational purposes only. So welcome, Andre. How does it feel being up so late tonight?
I love it, man. I love it. Been a long day, but let's get into this. Never tried the Nikkei before, but you're going to hold my hand through this, I hope, right?
We'll see. It sounds like we have a forum that Danielle's getting together, and trading the house account is going to be something that we're going to do as a group. It sounds like. Correct me if I'm wrong.
100%.
Okay. Well, I'll wait for the cue on Danielle, and before we get started any further, everybody who was on Topstep TV during the daytime show who missed the third bell to bell, we will be doing the second chance, or what do we call it? The third chance tonight. So be looking out for that. Let me go through some notes before we start talking about the Nikkei. Actually, I think I just covered it all. So how much do you know about the Nikkei, Andre?
Not very much. Just it's the index in Japan. Good enough, right?
That's more than most I've ran into, and I've realized. And there's the link in the chat. Danielle just gave it. If you click on that form, you can put in your levels, and that will influence what we're going to be doing on the house account tonight. I'll be checking and seeing how it goes from there.
Okay.
And the last note, I mean, it's just no again. If you guys have any questions, put it in the chat. We have an amazing moderator, and they will be feeding us some of the questions. Most of this night is going to be a little bit of Q&A between Andre and I. We're going to be talking about the Nikkei and placing a house trade. The house trade might not be on the Nikkei. As you might know, Andre, we talk about the Nasdaq, we talk about crude oil, we also talk about gold.
All right, yeah, that works. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Nathan West, yes, I missed one bell-to-bell form, so I think that's perfect. For anybody who missed one,
let's do it.
There is the form. It's pinned to the chat. There we go. Or it's not in there yet.
It's coming
tonight. Yes.
Yes. Today's your last chance to claim your one free reset. If you missed one of the bell-to-bell check-in forms today, you can check in tonight on Slow Markets. Yes, it's about to drop any second now. The code can be redeemed until Wednesday, May 1st. Those that qualify for Bell to Bell Club will receive their code by end of day Friday. So let's do it.
Yes. We have your charts open. I'm going to switch to my charts.
Okay.
And I'm going to start doing some analysis while we let everybody go and fill out that form. So let's do that. Let's go my charts. Here's my charts. Everybody can see them. It's nice and clean. And I actually have the Nikkei in front of me. I am actually looking to get in long.
Okay.
So here's the Nikkei. We've been in a massive sell-off, and even if we zoom out further, maybe a 60-minute chart, we haven't been in this level that we've for a while. So if let's go ahead and zoom out on a 60-minute chart. We've been in this very bullish market.
Okay.
And we've sold off, as you can see. and we're starting to find some support here in this area.
All right.
February 17th to February maybe 20th, 21st is the last time we've been in this area, and this is when we started off a big rally, as you guys can see here. And if we could start to zoom in, this is a reversal pattern that we're starting to see. Maybe a double bottom,
Yep.
maybe a higher high on this higher time frame. And then as we start to zoom in, say a 100 tick, it's starting to look a little bit more bullish, the way that I'm looking. And plus, I'm a promo bull, Andre. You
Yep.
probably hear that. I hit my loss limit yesterday being a promo bull, and you can see how the markets reacted. But yeah, very simple. Maybe a basic double bottoming formation here. And then if we start to break these highs, we could have a run for 38,000 and maybe
38,000.
breaking up higher. That's what I'm looking at for night. Have you placed any trades?
I have not, but I have a question for you. The earthquake that happened over there, any effect moving forward into this session at all?
I haven't paid too much attention to the news, to be honest.
Okay.
We're always getting news out, and I typically do not pay too much attention to the news and more of a technical analysis. I do want to make sure that everybody should be aware of the news and have an idea of what is going on. But from a technical aspect and the way that my strategy is, that's what I need to focus on.
Gotcha. All right. We're seeing a bit of a pullback here in Nikkei. I'm looking at the 5-minute.
Okay, I'm just adjusting your audio a little bit, which should sound a bit better.
All right.
Okay. Here's another thing I'm looking at, guys, and everybody. You guys are probably watching this throughout the day. Is crude oil, and everybody who has been watching my slow markets class throughout the past 3 weeks, 4 months, is I've been putting my hands on my butt. I haven't been trading crude oil, and I've been patiently waiting for crude oil to break down. I did miss a trade here, a few days ago. I think this was the 15th, maybe.
Yep.
I missed this trade, and I was waiting for crude oil to pull back. We have finally pulled back. This is a huge sell-off from this consolidation.
Yes, it was.
And we are right near an area of support. I am very bullish on crude, and I'm actually going to be looking to get into a long, most likely tonight.
Okay.
We have this major resistance. You can see here, this is a support and resistance zone. It's not an exact level. It's more of a zone. And the last time we were down here was in March, being very bullish crude oil. We're right there. And so I'm going to be looking for crude oil to have a reversing pattern, or we all know how crude likes to hunt stop losses,
Yes, it
hunt
does.
for liquidity, to where we might just have a nice push down before we rally. We see this time and time again. I've started to notice this even more frequently in crude oil, where here's another example. Do you see how it's not an exact double bottom? The second pivot on the double bottom usually makes the run for a little bit deeper, and then it goes. So that's what I'm going to be looking for tonight. And this is going to be in my live account.
Yep.
To where I'm going to be looking to put some buy limits in.
Okay.
An example, I'm going to go through this trade example, guys, and then maybe we can take a look at that form because we're already 10 minutes in, and we'll get your opinion on it, Andre.
Yeah.
So
I'm ready.
This is a 60-minute chart, and so it's a higher time frame. These are trades that I like to hold overnight, so I'll be placing them, say, tonight, and then when I go to bed, it will run overnight. And so maybe we could get a house account trade that lives up to the slow markets where we could put a trade on and let it run overnight, and then you guys talk about it during fast markets. Good.
I like that idea. I'm looking at the Nikkei, the ladder right here, the DOM, if you will. I had a five lot queued up like for the default trade, but it looks like that might be a little too much just to try to squeeze into a price here. So maybe 3 lot for now. I don't know. What do you think?
I typically trade 3 lots in my live account.
Gotcha.
We do know Nikkei is $25 per tick.
Yep.
And it could move fast. However, it's a thin order book. Andre. And with a thin order book, and a lot of traders don't realize this, is we start running into liquidity issues.
Yep.
Could you imagine buying at market with a 15 lot
No.
on an order book that you see? You're going to cover 4 or 5 ticks.
Yeah, no chance.
And that's going to be slippage. And even if you put a limit order, your orders can be very visible. It's going to be very easy to see. And as everybody has those superstitions about market makers seeing and reading your stops.
Stop
And
hunters.
so if we place a trade on the Nikkei, I think maybe we could split it up between more than just one price point. So right now, I'm looking at your screen, is the 37,900 level. And this is just example. If we was going to buy the Nikkei, 37,900, maybe we could do 2 lots at 905, 2 lots at 900, and 2 lots at 895 for an example.
All right, repeat those prices again. Sorry.
Well, I'm not 100% sure about those levels. I was just giving an example of how
Okay,
to split up an order. Let's take a look.
Hey, real quick, Dakota. From what people are waiting for here, I think it might be time to do the damn here on slow markets. For those that have been waiting patiently and are joining us here in slow markets, I think we're going to drop that form whenever Danielle's ready. Danielle, let's do it.
There it is.
Boom. Let's go. Let's go.
Everybody knows I've been trying to get for everybody here in slow markets. So this is it, guys. If you guys missed out, then slow markets is a second chance.
Boom. There it is.
There it is. Beautiful. And how's the audio, guys? I've adjusted your audio, and it sounds a lot better.
Sounds like I'm coming okay, right?
Yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah, we have a lot more people watching tonight, and I think we know why. We have this special guest.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
You're bumping up the numbers, and we're gonna put on a show tonight.
I love it. All right, so let's talk trades. What are we looking at here? See, 5-minute Nikkei.
Do we have the form results yet? Do we have the form? Let's see. I'll wait for the form results, but yeah, this trade, I'm going to put on an example of what I'm actually looking at tonight.
Okay.
Just so everybody knows, the house account is not just going to be me trading it. It's not going to just be me placing a trade. It's going to be us as a slow market group community, as one, talking about different trading ideas and letting Andre make that decision and being, what does MP say, the executioner or
Yeah, that came across weird. Yes, we execute the trade, but based on levels from the community. I mean, we believe in our traders, so yeah, let's back them.
Perfect. So I'm going to go over crude oil because this is the one that's one of the most attractive trades for me, for an overnight trade. So we've sold off here on the 60-minute chart, and I want to get in long.
Okay.
And the first area I see is right here back on April 1st. We went all the way down to basically 82.07. And then today we went down to like 82.01.
Yep.
And so what I'm going to be looking for is for crude oil to push down below 82, find liquidity, find support, and then start to rally.
Okay.
Now remember, it could go up, and then I'll be frustrated because I missed this trade again. But I would much rather have a much higher risk-reward trade and get areas of opportunity. And so a lot of ways, and the way I think about this is, if I was to buy the market now, where would I put my stop loss?
Good question.
So immediately, if I was to get in the market right now, I would put my stop loss, say, somewhere down here.
What price?
Say 81.90. 81.90. That would make sense for a stop loss. And so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll have my stop loss be my entry, and then I will move my stop loss a bit further. So I think for me, I'm going to be putting some buy limit orders tonight, around 81.90, and this is a zone. This is an example, and let me show you guys my charts.
Yep.
So here's my chart.
Yeah.
And so you can see that the 81.90 level is an area where a lot of people will put their stop losses. And this is where I'm going to be getting in, where a lot of people are getting stopped out. And the next area of support and resistance is pretty much that zone. And then I want my stop loss somewhere right below that zone. So you can see this zone back in the end of March. This used to be a lot of resistance. I'm looking for this resistance to act as support.
Right.
And that happens to be right where this buy limit area is, where people who are currently long might have their stops. Does that make sense to everybody? Let's answer some questions. And if you have any questions about that, Andre, let me know.
I will. All right. Well, I'm scoping out Nikkei right now. Kind of itchy to make a trade. Nothing just yet, but yeah, let's see how this plays out on slow markets. This is exciting. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So this is the question I get all the time is, it feels like we're buying and we're trying to catch a falling knife. Do you ever get that feeling when we're trying to buy using buy limit orders? And I know Adobe likes to do this a lot, using limit orders at extremes. And when it works, it looks really good. But then when it doesn't, you look just like a complete idiot. And this is going to be a good example of one, because you're buying the market as the market is going against you. And so the probabilities of it working is a lot less likely. However, the risk reward on this type of a trade is much greater than 1-to-1. Typically, I can get a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1, where I can lose 75% of the time and have a positive expectancy. So some profits that I'll be looking for this is, if we do rally, we could very well come up and maybe see the low 83s, maybe 83.15 to 83.50 is a good example. And just eyeballing it, this would be a really good maybe 4-to-1, even a 5-to-1. And if I'm getting into, say, 3, 4, 5 contracts, I can close out some of them and then let a runner go.
But yeah, working a bid in a breaking market, I mean, you're going to take heat on the trade because you have an order in there and the market is breaking. You're trying to catch it on the turn, so to speak. But yeah, it's inevitable you are going to take heat on it. But playing the levels, it is smart, I would say. So I like what you're doing with this oil trade. And see how it plays out. Nikkei.
Yeah, let's look at. We're finally getting some levels. We're actually starting to rally here on the Nikkei. Let's take a look at some of your guys' levels. Let's see. Generally trending up. Wow, we're getting a lot of traders looking at this key 38,000 level. Long. Breaking the downside of the trend. All the entries that I'm seeing right now is long. We have some 37.75, 37.75, 37.745. See that? Of course, that's down here, which we would have missed that move, and this was the pullback. I like this, guys. I'm going to go ahead and switch to make my live account.
Let's do
I'm
it.
going to get long Nikkei. I'm going to get long Nikkei here. I'm going to see if
join
I
you.
can work some buy limits around 37,940 and see if I can get a long to push above the 38,000. What's your thoughts on this? It seems like the community is saying long Nikkei.
I see that too. I'm in. 940s.
You're in. I'm gonna switch to your chart. Let's see.
Join the bid.
Order filled.
Oh, I'm in.
So you're getting in just 3?
Yep.
Now Nikkei can move fast. It can move really fast in terms of the tick per tick and the dollar amount value.
Damn, these ticks are no
this
joke.
Is slow markets, so fast, in my perspective, might not be fast in someone else.
I was gonna join the bid. Okay, I'm in. See if we hit those 38,000.
You guys figured in, and so you're wanting to just do 3, is that right?
Correct. I'm in long 3 and taking heat.
What's the risk? Let's do a better. So maybe this might be a better way to understand size.
Okay.
What is the risk that we are allowed to take on this Nikkei trade?
Let's call it 2,000, I'll say. What do you think?
I was looking for a little bit bigger of a trade.
What are you thinking?
I'm going to be taking about that size of a risk on
Order
my
submitted.
personal live
Order
account or on
submitted.
my Topstep
Order
live account. So
submitted.
if we look at my screen, I'm getting in. I'm working a buy limit at bid, or so buy limit at. Let's take a look at this. 37,915. I'm actually going to raise this up and see if I could get 37,935.
30 or 40s.
37,935. Let's see. So you are long 3 at what's the price?
65.
You're long 3.
Yep.
Would you ever want to add to that position?
Not quite yet. I was trying to join the bid on the pullback there, but when I hit join bid, I got filled. So here we are. Let's do it. What's up, Hoag?
Let's see. There. Yeah, we got the gang.
Yeah, the gang's in here. Let's go. What up, Ritz?
Ritz, Hoag, Danielle. So you're long already.
Yep.
I just got filled. I got filled 37,935. You're long 3 at 37,9. You said 60 or 65?
65. Taking heat already.
65. All right. I'm in long 3 with my live account, and I'm actually going to be adding if we could get down to 3,900.
Okay.
Order submitted.
Shoot, right down to G.
So let me go ahead and add my chart, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys while I do this. Seeing if I could build a little bit of a position here for that play to 38,000.
Yep.
All in, all in. Yeah, we got quite the crowd here in slow markets with everybody.
Let's do it. Oh, here's that pullback.
Yeah, this is a pullback. If we start, and this is something I do want to show you guys, is if we zoom in, you can see how thin this order book actually is. There's a lot of gaps in the charts because the bid and ask can be moving without, orders being filled because it's a very thin order book. And that's why I like to use a 100 tick chart or a higher time frame is so that I could see a bigger picture. And so if I show my fills, you can see I actually did get filled one at 37,885.
Nice fill.
Right at that bottom tick.
Nice fill.
And now we're starting to catch. What do you
catch a bid? I know where you're going with this. Catch a bid, a little pop, call it what you will. But yes, that's what I call it. We're catching a bid.
Catching a bid during slow markets.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to bounce back to your screen and let's take a look at. So now let's talk about risk. So you said risk $2,000.
2,000-ish on this one, I'll say. But you said maybe expand that a little bit, open it up.
I know Mick is big for adding positions to winners, and maybe we could practice what Mick is saying, especially since it's a house account, right?
Yep.
Is add to a winner. And so if this gives us another opportunity to add to this position, maybe we could go on that. It is already halfway through. We only have an hour, right?
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about a stop loss and a take profit.
Okay.
So immediately, my first instinct on where a stop loss would be is going to be down below 37,680. So something down here below 700. But that would be a really wide stop loss for this range.
Yep.
So I could be risking too much. And the second place, because I'm zoomed in, this is a 1-minute chart, so I could really start to see the fine details over here. We could start to see some of these pivots. We made a pivot here, and it looks like we just are in the middle of trying to make a pivot, maybe 37,885. And so immediately, the first thing I'm looking at is maybe either having a stop loss at 37,850 or a stop loss at 37,880.
Okay.
And then, traders who are maybe trading smaller or risking a different size or different position than us, then some of these other pivots that we could see down here further back could very well be an option.
Hold on, Dolby saying we have a Bank of Japan speaker coming up. Is that true? Dolby, is that true? Let's
take a look at this. We're starting to rally up. Catch a bid in this
Catch a
market.
bid, he says, yes. And
To be honest, my opinion on the whole catch a bid thing, it's
yeah,
all about perspective. If someone's trading a 1-minute chart, catching a bid for them is a lot different than somebody who's trading a 60-minute chart.
yep.
And we have a lot of maybe really quick scalpers. Maybe they're trading something even like a 5-second chart, and 3-point move is be a pretty good bid for them.
It is perspective, but when doing the play-by-play during the day, catching a bid, we popped a couple ticks, popped a couple points. So that's why I say it. Man, we're looking to catch a bid right here.
I mean, it's a sense of direction. That's for me is good enough.
Order submitted.
So my stop limit is going to be 37,850.
850. Okay. Let's see this play out. Now we got this speaker coming out. Tell me 2 minutes speaker. Is that true?
Let's take a look. FOMC. It's Wednesday. It's right around 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for Australia, right? Is that right? Chat's
Japan.
always ahead of it a lot better than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I like the sell side. Daddy Osaka on the press brief. While we're waiting for that, let's talk about targets here.
Let's do it.
The very first immediate target that everybody was saying was long 38,000. This is a key psychological level. You can see it there in your chart. If we switch over to my chart, here is that key 36,000 level. Immediately, just eyeballing this is a 1-to-1 risk reward, where for every dollar I am risking, I'm looking to make 1 if I am targeting 38,000. However, if we look at this higher time frame, or even look at a little bit of a bigger picture, if we do get a break, then this could be not a fundamental change, but a technical change where we made a higher low and we make a higher high. And so to me, if we do break to 38,000, then there's a decent chance we could have some continuation.
Yep.
This is one reason why I like to get into multiple contracts, so we can take profit on some of it and then leave a runner on.
I like that. So, all right. So you see that. How do you read that in terms of like the charts, in terms of like placing a trade?
Explain that maybe a little bit more.
No, I guess I'm watching. We're taking heat on this Nikkei trade right now, and we're talking about the stops and whatnot. I guess see if we catch this bid right here. All right, starting. Yeah.
Order submitted.
Yeah, we might get stopped out on this one.
Yep.
Let's see. Chat, what's the tick value for Nikkei? The tick value for Nikkei is $25 per tick.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's a little bit big. That's why it's like house account on the bigger trade size. It's 3-4 contracts. And then during the daytime when we're trading the Nasdaq, what was the minimum contract size you were trading with the house account? 15 contracts, right? And so it really depends on the market you're trading and the position sizing.
Dakota got Andre sweating. They're saying, I mean, come on, guys.
How do you feel, Andre, trading the Nikkei? I'm honestly, if we switch over here to this oil trade, this is the trade
let's check it.
I am personally liking. This is something I'm going to be placing for a buy limit. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Order submitted.
This is my live account as well.
Order submitted.
And this is a trade that I'm going to be placing. And I might actually hold this overnight. Now, remember this. I gave the risk disclosure, and I've seen some traders in chat like, oh, follow you guys, fade it. Not recommending fading, not recommending following it. We are all at our own risk.
Correct.
We're trading the slow market. The markets are very slow. These are trades that I will be placing and holding overnight. So I'm going to go to bed tonight,
Order
and
submitted.
when I wake up in the morning, these are trades where I don't
Order
realize
submitted.
that they hit profit or hit my stop loss until
Order
after I wake
submitted.
up or after
Order submitted.
Yeah.
maybe I even manage it, right?
So you put the trade in, place the stop, and then go to sleep and see what happens in the morning.
Order
I love
submitted.
That
it.
see what happens.
I love it. I know.
I'm it's essentially letting the trade play out, right? Where I know my statistics, I know the risk reward, I know how much I'm risking, and then when I place this trade, making sure it's an OCO, right? So that the only time that these orders get triggered is when I get triggered on my main order, which is a buy limit crude oil, 3 contracts, 81.79. Once that gets triggered, then these other orders will be activated. And so essentially, the only way I would take a trade is if crude oil sells off, cheers me in,
Mhm.
and then it will either stop me out or it would rally and hit my take profits. But then there's a ton of times where I would wake up in the morning and we're somewhere in between. And then I can make a decision and say, okay, you know what, we didn't move. We're
Right.
hovering around. Do I move my stop loss? Do I just close it or somewhere in between? I love this style of trading because I don't have to worry about me over managing it, over trading, um,
Yep.
adjusting my stop loss, adjusting my take profit, adding to it, closing it out short, and just letting the trade run out. So where it's the true statistics and it's a lot less emotion in my trading, and there's a lot less of over managing where I'm sitting there watching it move and fluctuate.
All right. Well, I'm getting close to my pain threshold here, Dakota.
I'm switching over to your charts.
Well, good. I'm about to flatten this trade and see if we can get a better
Order
entry.
canceled.
Manage the risk. We do have a BOJ speaker right now, which is okay. This is slow market, so we'll take time to develop.
You are in at 37.9.
The highs, man. The highs. I tried joining the bid. I know.
And you're in just 3 contracts.
3, correct.
Nothing wrong with that. What's the heat that you're taking on this? $1,500.
$1,500. About to flatten and see how we go moving forward. See how this plays. Top tick. I know.
Yeah.
Top tick. I know.
Oh, you'd be surprised how many times this happened to me this month on the Nikkei. But yeah, 38,000 is the level that a lot of the traders
Flat.
are
Order
looking
filled.
at.
Yep. I'm out.
Let's see. Break of downside trend. BOJ
good.
to gradually hike rates, adjusting bond
Hey.
buying. Love seeing it. I'm still in it.
Okay.
My stop loss is at 37,850.
850. Okay. What
You're flat now, right?
I am flat. Looking to get back in possibly. We'll see how much this pullback is. The oil trade. What are you looking to do there?
Yes.
Have you entered it yet? And how
No entry. I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna place that order overnight. It's a concept where and if we're on my charts again, let's see. Let me switch this over. Here's this oil trade. Markets are moving very slow, right? And this is where I would be placing that order. Let me go ahead and do this. Just 1 second, guys. There it is. So as you can see, what I am looking for, and actually oil is starting to sell off a little bit, is I'm looking for oil to break below $82 a barrel, and then getting in long around 81, say 79 to 81.84, somewhere in that zone, and then having my stop loss right around 81.40 to 81.50, and then my take profits closer to the 83 level, and maybe if I'm getting into multiple contracts, definitely looking to get and scale out of, 1 to 2 take profits.
How often are you trading
Something
oil,
like this.
Dakota? I don't remember you ever trading oil.
Yeah, I talk about oil every night during my slow market class,
Gotcha.
and, I haven't been trading it lately because the trade has not been setting up.
Right.
This is a 60-minute chart, so it's a little bit of a higher time frame, and oil's just been rallying, and it has not gave me a good opportunity to buy it. We finally started to sell off,
Yes, we are.
and now I'm looking at getting into some positions long.
Okay.
And I say positions, guys, is we're here at Topstep, so we do have to have our, trades closed at the end of the New York session. However, this is just the start, right? So if I place a trade now, this trade could run between now until the end of the New York session. Um,
Yes, it will.
so is that a swing trade? I mean, I don't think so. It's just a very long day trade, maybe is what we could consider it.
How often will you take a trade overnight and carry it well into the New York session?
Um, I would say once a week. Once a week, I'll definitely be placing a trade.
Damn.
Yeah, once,
Impressive.
maybe twice, just depending on how the markets are acting and what I'm looking for. Will it go until the New York session? Not all the time. A lot of them are actually finished before New York even opens.
Mhm.
In terms of we have the London session, right? And
Yep.
and we see a lot of movement in the London session. I would say 75 to 80% of my trades are either stopped out or hit the take profit during the London session.
Interesting. Quick note on that Nikkei trade. Notice that the tilt, for what it's worth, is 90% long, as I'm taking heat on. Yeah, I know. Wish I checked that before getting in here. We'll see. It's all good, man. I
Come on,
love it.
guys.
I
Is
got
that all
baptism
of
by
us
fire,
here? Is
Dakota.
that are we influencing these traders 90% long
Might
Nikkei
be.
because of us? Are we
We
the
might be.
90%?
Did you get stopped out on that pullback?
I let's see. I got to switch. You got stopped out, right?
I did. I closed it.
I'm always switching between my live account and my combine account,
Hmm.
or a combine account that I just use to show examples. So and it always just takes a moment to get stopped out. And you said you would be considering to get back in.
Yep.
What would make you feel like you'd comfortable to get back in?
Bigger pullback, I'd say. We did get close to VWAP there in Nikkei, but like I said, it's my first time trading it, so I want to see how the market behaves. I did buy the top there, which sucked, but I learned. No, this is not going to be my last time coming on, chat. Come on.
Just show up, make money,
That'd be tight.
show up, lose money.
Yeah.
What other markets are you looking at? Have you looked at
Got the
maybe
Nasdaq
gold or oil?
I have not, but I see in the chat that people are talking about it. What's going on over there? I just have the Nikkei chart up right now and Nasdaq, so I'm not looking over there. I mean, what do you got?
Let me pull it up here. Who is it that used to trade at night? Was it yourself or it was Jack, right?
I did as well. Yeah, that was with interest rates, but yeah, I used to trade overnight. That's how I learned. Markets move slower, so you can see the trade play out. Not as much risk, so to speak, but when headlines hit, you never know what's going to happen. But yes, I did learn overnight. So
Order
kind of doing it all over
submitted.
again. Everything comes full circle, Dakota.
Order can't. Order filled.
making
That
moves
was
Order
insane.
great.
filled.
He used
Order
to trade at
filled.
interest rates, right?
Correct. Similar like to
Interesting.
myself.
Let's take a look at gold. I'm going to switch to my charts and we'll look at gold. Gold has been the talk of the New York
Yep.
session every single time. And I think even when I was on that Friday, it was just all-time highs, right? And then we had this
Yep.
huge reversal and sold off. Do you trade gold often?
I do not, but I definitely keep an eye on it lately. Like I've been saying, it is the star of the show. All-time highs, all-time highs. We did see a bit of a pullback or kind of bid. I mean, seeing the 2,400 level is wild. Seen it push through to the top side there. I mean, yeah, I don't trade it, but it's definitely something we need to keep an eye on with with all the headlines coming out of the Middle East. You see gold and oil pop, when a headline hits, and then eventually you'll see equities kind of sell off like we're seeing right now. 37,830 in the Nikkei. So we are pulling back.
30 on the Nikkei.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that. So I did get stopped out on my Nikkei trade.
Yep.
37,850. We're sitting around 37,845, 37,840, hovering around that. This is that pullback. This is the pullback.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to get it, if we zoom in again to a 5-minute or a 1-minute chart, then you could see this could very well be that pullback. This is actually tempting for me to buy it.
The price, yeah.
If you didn't catch yesterday, I was in a very similar situation of trying to buy the Nikkei. It almost feels uncanny of how similar right now feels to last night.
How so?
As just trying to buy the Nikkei, and I just got into, I just did it. There we go. So let's see. I'm doing it again. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Oh, you're in? Oh, there's the pop. Nice job.
Yep, I'm in. It failed me, and here we are. I'm going to put my stop loss at 37,810.
What price did you get again? 850s?
I got 845.
Order
Nice job.
submitted.
Damn it.
Order submitted.
Yeah, this feels a little like yesterday, and I did take losses yesterday. However, it's just something where I have to follow my strategy, as hard as it might feel, and as much as I might have some PTSD. If I get stopped out, then so be it. This is a little bit less of a risky trade as that other one, even if we do struggle. I'm risking, let's see, what's it? 1, 2, 4 contracts at 35, so that's 7 ticks. 5, 7, 6, 7
Good
ticks.
on you. Nice trade.
So we'll watch this, guys.
Dakota, they got a question for you. Can I ask a stupid question? It's not a stupid question. How much is 1 tick of crude? I've never traded before.
1 tick of crude oil. So it depends whether we're trading the minis or the micros. The micro per tick on crude oil is $10, and the micros is 1/10. So it's $1. This Nikkei is working out now.
Yeah, it is.
We'll see if we can break above the 37,900s and make a run.
Should have widened the stop. I'm learning. Should have widened that stop.
Sometimes that's what it is. It's a lot different than fast markets,
Right.
where markets are moving really quick. Typically, the trader that can handle a little bit wider stop, smaller position size, wider stop, tends to work out a little bit better. Either that, or I'm just hard-headed and I love to bang my head against the wall,
Could be the latter.
following my rules just blindlessly, even though I do have bad feelings and I have a little bit of PTSD from yesterday.
Yep. I mean, yeah, FOMO. I know. No haul. Bounced right off VWAP there. That was the entry. Nice job, Dakota.
You have VWAP? I'm going to switch it to your charts.
I do have VWAP right here. We did bounce right off of it at 850 level. So that was a nice entry. YOLO. Ain't no YOLOs here. Come on.
Right where our stop losses were.
Pretty much.
It's almost like they knew.
They're hunting for us. They're hunting us, Dakota. So
well, everybody in the chat was long. And I don't know if that's just because of the way they watch the way I trade, and maybe it's similar to the way I trade. And I hope it's not one of those where it's like a herd mentality, where it's like, we're learning slow markets, people are trading good, we're making money. But then as soon as it starts to turn negative, then everybody starts to do that.
I mean, just looking at the top, I'm seeing 97% long in the Nikkei right now, which is interesting. Here's the pop. I'll be damned.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, I'm going to switch to my charts.
Yep. So how do you manage this, Dakota? Talk me through it.
This is one that I am going to leave my stop here at 37.10.
Okay.
And if we do start to break, I'll close out of maybe 1 or 2 contracts and leave a runner on. I love to leave runners on. I really do. You guys hear me say it all the time.
100%.
When we were trading the house account, and even when we were talking on fast markets, lock in some profit, close 1 or 2 contracts.
100%.
One of the best benefits of getting into multiple contracts is the ability to scale in and scale out. Use that to our benefit. Close it out, and if you're right, don't cut your winners short. You want to cut your losses short.
Yep.
And let your winners run. So if we do start to break out here, if we break above and we start looking at the 38,000 level, we might make a nice run. I'll close out of, like I said, 1 or 2, just depending on how quick we could get there, if we do get there. And then I'll leave 2 of these contracts on for a runner, maybe overnight. Let me look. I'm going to
Dakota, do you move your stop when you start shaving off your position? Do you move your stop at all, or you just commit to the original stop that you put in?
I commit to the original if I'm going to bed.
Yep.
However, there are times where we could continue to make higher lows, just like we did. So we've seen how we made higher low, and then another higher low.
Yep.
If we make another one, say like right here, then before I go to bed, and if it happens before I go to bed, obviously I can't do anything when I'm sleeping, then I would adjust my stop loss and manage my risk. But if not, I will let this trade go while I'm sleeping. And so looking at some take profits, now let's take a look and say, if we do start to break and if we do start to rally, where could we see some profit opportunities?
Yeah, walk me through this.
Immediately, 38,000 is one of them, right?
Order submitted.
Key psychological level. Here is some resistance here. However, the way I'm seeing it now is if we break, we could break hard and maybe we could push up to 38,065. We've seen some resistance here.
065.
So maybe there. I don't like having my stop loss or my take profit so close to where a breakout level is, because sometimes if we do just break and you have your take profit here and it's like we jump like double that in just a matter of a moment, then yeah, it sucks to cap your.
It was the pullback, Dakota.
Should have added.
I know, we should have added his right. But here's my question. Is it adding to a loser or dollar cost averaging? What's the difference?
Well, it depends on what your strategy is, right? If you're just frustrated and you're adding without a reason, then you're adding to a loser.
Right.
What do we call it? A moron trade, right?
Moron trade, yep.
However, if you have a reason behind it and it's already planned, then you would be averaging in.
Yep.
So as we're talking about that, let's talk about crude oil, because this is a perfect example, okay? If on crude oil, we think it could sell off, but we don't know exactly where. We have an idea because we know of a zone. Instead of just saying, buy 3 contracts right here.
What's the price? Sorry.
Order submitted.
81.78.
Okay.
So instead of just say buy 3 contracts, 81.78. Sometimes the better play, because sometimes it will go down, almost fill you.
Order canceled.
But not yet. A lot of times.
Order submitted.
I would put, say, one contract at 81.89, one contract at 81.78, and then one contract at 81.66.
Order submitted.
In that zone, and say, I'm okay if I don't get filled in all of them. If we do sell off, I just want to get it. It will increase my likelihood of getting into the position. But if it does go and say trigger in 1 or 2 and then rally, you feel a little bit bad because you don't get filled into your first all 3, your full position. But however, at least you caught it. It's a lot better than just maybe you had all 3 contracts down at the bottom one and it doesn't quite get to that. Oh, it looks like Nikkei's breaking. Switching up. Here we go.
Nikkei's popping here.
Sorry, we're leaving without you, Andre.
I know. Welcome to Slow Markets, Andre. Man, I like the idea, though. I got you.
All right,
what's your target?
How are you guys doing, everybody?
Yeah. Let us know. What's your target? 38,000 or above that?
Actually, I'm gonna get out of one at. I'm gonna front run 38,000, 37,995.
Order submitted.
Okay. Let's see if we can.
I'm seeing some liquidity here, if you want to call it that, at 37,990, 11 lot. I don't know if that's bigger than normal, but that was 13. Was that you? Was that you getting in there? I think I just saw that.
That might be us, right? That might be the Topstep team.
I saw
over
that.
here. Oh, yeah. I was trying to give some examples of like how thin the order book is.
Uh-huh.
And say, hey, you know what? Look how thin this order book is. And I had my live account and I did 15 lots, like way above the ask, just to show. and started moving. And I'm like, oh man, maybe I get in trouble for spoofing, moving little 10 contracts back and forth. But yeah, you can see it's very, very thin.
Yes, it is.
And anybody, not anybody, but 10 contracts can move the market. But yeah, no, I'm happy the market's acting like this. It gives a great example of taking a loss. Markets do not always do what they want you to do, and yeah, sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, right, Andre?
For sure. I mean, getting your feet wet, overnight is the most important thing, and that's basically what I did. And lesson learned: widen the stops. It is the house account. Probably the risk was a little too tight, but yeah. Definitely like to come back and do this again.
You don't want to just come into slow markets and just cannonball in and say, all right, we're going 10 contracts long because everyone's saying so, and having a really bad taste in your mouth and say, oh, do we really want to do that again, right? Just a little small one.
I'll be back.
Like you could get your feet wet. Next time I definitely want to have you on here again.
I appreciate that.
More experience.
Yep.
We could talk a little more in depth. Work on the audio a little bit. It's not terrible, but it's not as good as it can get.
No.
And then have a bit more confidence. And I say that practice what we preach.
Yep.
And if I was talking to you like a brand new trader, I would say max one contract, do it on a practice account, and maybe don't even touch Nikkei. If you're brand new, maybe just trade another market, right? We're trading the Nikkei because it is slow markets. It's a market that is moving. It's a market that we have been trading. It's been relatively good for me. But besides that, everybody does know, I do focus on gold, crude oil, and the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is my primary market. And actually, before we end, I wanted to touch base on the Nasdaq of where it's at because I talk about the Nasdaq all the time. And I think I will make a few comments on the Nasdaq, and then we can close it up. It was a quick hour, Andre.
Real quick, shout out to Michael Patak in the chat. What up, MP?
There's MP. MP, we missed the house account trade. It ran without the house account.
Lost a couple bucks, MP. Right idea, wrong execution. That lesson learned.
Right idea, wrong timing and direction. It's just as equally as
you can't stop laughing, can you?
No, I can't. I just think it's so fun. It's not at you, just about the whole situation, right? But anyway, here's the Nasdaq. Here's the daily chart on the Nasdaq, and I love this market. I am a perma bull, and I'm bullish the market, and most of my trades are to the long side. When the market's acting like this, I do take losses. However, we ran into something like this, the end of December, beginning of January, and we're getting there now. This is something I'm getting excited about. I was looking between 17,700 to 17,600, somewhere in this zone. I think it was maybe 1,800. But back in February.
Hey, Dakota, switch to your chart real quick. Sorry, switch to your chart.
Nope, good call. Thank you. So, anyway, let me just repeat that. So back at the end of December, beginning of February, we did have this sell-off. Now, if we look at where we're at today, it's getting exactly to about that level. This is where I'm getting excited as a big bull, or as a small bull, perma bull. We also have this candle back at the end of February where we've seen a lot of buyers. And then we had this. So this is a level that I'm going to be watching a lot more aggressively. And I'm going to be looking at this on some of my personal accounts, mainly to be looking for some longer term buying the dip. So here is the move back at the end of December, beginning of February, and we're getting something similar this week. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm excited, and that's where I'm going to leave it. Any other comments? Here we are on Nikkei.
Yeah, we are,
The
Dakota.
profits getting
Damn.
hit. I see
Damn, bro. Yeah.
38,000 at the ask. We can watch that while we close out some
How am I going to
profits.
sleep? How am I going to sleep now? Man.
Well, hopefully you sleep like a baby.
I will. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on. This was sweet. Let's do it again.
Yeah, what is it? Wednesday night?
It is.
I lose track of time so too often.
Yeah, I know.
Days just come meshed, especially as a trader. So yeah, so there we have it, guys. How's
Order
that
filled.
for a trade? Take profit hit. We're breaking above
There we go. Just like you called it.
38,500. How's that for a great first time in slow market, Andre? And guess what? 97% of traders trading the Nikkei, it sounds like, did well.
In the money. Well done.
They called it. It wasn't me.
They
It
did.
was everybody in the chat. We all did this together. So man, don't we just love trading?
It's the best. Patak, well, get Patak on here, sling some size in the Nikkei. I appreciate Dakota. Thank you for the crash course.
Yeah, 2 minutes left. Anything else? I mean, I didn't get too many questions to you guys. Sorry, I always answer questions, but we're always short on time. An hour goes faster than you realize, especially when we're having fun and making money.
Absolutely. Are you going to be on at all the on Topstep TV this week?
I think I'm scheduled to be on Friday morning.
Cool.
I'm starting to get used to waking up early in the morning and trading fast markets. Number one, I'm already starting to train for the Topstep Trading League. So, yeah, I see people are starting to move. I love it. I'm a coach. I love when traders, look at this as competition. We got to beat Dakota. We got to be number one.
Bring it.
I want that.
Bring
I want traders to beat me. It's just like a dad, right? Where you want your kid to beat you, but you're not going to take it easy. And
nope.
Say, if you beat me, it's because you earned it.
Got to hit that edge. Yep.
And that's what I want. And hopefully that's what we get to see.
You're the man. Well, good luck in TTL. We'll see how it goes down. We are competition, so get ready.
All right. Well, hopefully everybody enjoyed, and I will catch you guys tomorrow night or even tomorrow during Topstep TV in the YouTube chat.
You're the man. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Take care, everybody.